MRIS Mohali has one of the best infrastructures I've seen in school. We have created a school which is plastic free. A gardener fixes the environment when the plant is not growing.
Welcome to Beyond the Bubble. I'm Harsimrat from Media Shala Club at Manavrachna International School, Mohali. In today's episode, we're delighted to introduce the newest leader at our school, someone whose remarkable journey has taken her from being an educator and a psychologist to writing and editing books and taking on leadership roles. We're thrilled to welcome our new principal, Ms. Radhika Gupta, to MRIS Mohali.
Thank you, Harsimrat, and thank you for such a warm welcome. Delighted to be here at Media Shala of MRIS Mohali.
So ma'am, shall we begin?
Absolutely.
Okay. So the very first question is, ma'am, could you share the story of your professional journey? We'd love to hear how it all began, the key milestones and experiences that ultimately shaped your path, and what inspired you to take the role for principal.
So this is a 2-decade-long story, which I'll tell you in a concise manner. I did my research in child and adolescent psychology, but I think as far as I can remember, even in my childhood, the only pretend play I ever did was to become a teacher, an educator. So as soon as I submitted my thesis, I took up the job of a teacher for pre-primary section, and that's where I began my journey. I think I was very lucky to get training for progressive education in 2004 when the concept of progressive education was very little known in India. I continued in that role. I just kept taking a higher class till I reached probably being a grade 7 coordinator. Post that, I took a sabbatical for about a year when my daughter was just born. And post that, I went into curriculum development. I worked for this company which created modules for curriculum development for CBSE. That was a wonderful learning experience. And also, I think I'm an avid reader and a writer. So it put my skills to good use. Education combined with the passion for writing. So that's where I wrote and edited curricular content. I also developed assessment modules. Post that, I've been in various leadership roles, being head of English department for 2 schools and going on to head the senior wing of a very well-known school in Chandigarh. And now I'm delighted and honored to be here as the principal of MRIS Mohali.
That is so inspiring, ma'am. Now that you're part of the MRIS Mohali family, we would be delighted to hear about your visions for the school in the coming year.
I think MRIS Mohali has one of the best infrastructures I've seen in schools in the Tri-City. We have a wonderful platform from which we can begin. But my vision for the school would be to create a community of learners who are happy to come to school, where the process of education is a joyful one, where we nurture every child's unique abilities and potential and hone them in a way that they reach their ultimate potential. I would also want the children to remain rooted in culture and yet be dynamic in their approach, be future ready with their 21st century skills, to be able to communicate effectively, to be able to connect with the community, the world at large, to be able to translate their learnings into the real world.
That is wonderful to hear, ma'am. Ma'am, how would you leverage MRIS's core values, integrity, excellence, inclusivity, and sustainability to redefine success that goes beyond exam scores?
I think it's very important for any school to have a vision and to have some core values to guide them. Every family has them, every community has them, and as a school community, I feel they form the cornerstone of our school. So let's break it down. Let's start one at a time. Student centricity, I think, again, is one of the foundations of good education. So they say that a gardener fixes the environment when the plant is not growing. It doesn't try to tweak the plant. Similarly, if the child is not thriving in an environment, we need to change the environment. That is what student centricity means to me, that everything is centered around children, our pedagogy, our policies, our decisions, and everything that we do. We are here for you, and that's what should guide us further. Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking, even in the most challenging times. And that is something which cannot be taught in one day or in one class or even over one session. It is something which has to be knitted into the school's fiber, and every member of the school community should be walking the talk, should be doing what is best interest of the school, even when there's nobody to guide us. Excellence. So excellence, I think, guides us every step of the way. If we have that vision in mind, we do our best, whether we have an ideal situation or not, whether we have the resources or not, whether the result looks fancy or not. We just go ahead and do our best. And sustainability, well, that's the buzzword these days, and everybody is talking about it. But living and acting sustainably is a different ball game altogether. It's very easy to throw fancy words around, but putting it into action is where most people falter. I think we have created a school which is plastic free, where we value paper on all sorts of resources. We do not have plastic cups, we don't excessively use paper. In fact, we're trying to go paperless as far as possible. So sustainability should be a part of our everyday life. And going forward, we need to embed it into our school culture. So I think we have some beautiful core values to guide our way, which we must keep in mind each and every day.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing that. Education is evolving rapidly. What does quality education mean to you? And how can MRIS stay forward-thinking while rooted in its values?
I think my idea of quality education is exactly what Manav Rachna institutions stand for, and that is why I'm here today. Quality education for me goes way beyond textbooks and marks. It is something which develops from every child's potential. A curious mind, a critically thinking brain, being physically fit and active, and having the resilience to face the rigors of the real world is what quality education for me is. Being rooted in our culture and yet being able to take on the future with open arms, to be adaptable, to be able to adapt to all the new changes that are coming in. As you rightly said, it's not just education that is rapidly evolving. The entire world is evolving so rapidly that we need to keep pace with it. So for me, quality education stands for all that is new, yet we adapt to it as quickly as possible.
Drawing from your diverse experience, what truly sets a school apart in today's educational landscape?
Well, to my mind, well-being of students is what sets a school apart. You may be able to create the infrastructure, you may be able to get the numbers in school, but the well-being of students and the staff members, in fact, is very, very important, and that's what sets a school apart. A school where a parent can send their children feeling that this is a safe haven for them is what sets everybody apart.
Ma'am, before we conclude things up, we would like to lighten things up with a quick rapid fire round. Are you ready?
Ready.
What is your favorite subject? Of course, not English.
Parapsychology.
3 words you think every student should embody.
3 words: adaptability, discipline, and awareness.
1 skill you think every student should learn outside of academics.
Life skills, any day. You should have enough life skills to steer you through life, whether it's cooking or even sewing a button. You should know all of it.
What is 1 book you'd recommend to every student?
Who Moved My Cheese?
What is your biggest inspiration?
All the wonderful women I've worked under and worked with. I think I've derived immense inspiration from all their journeys. People who've been working for students despite all odds.
What is 1 thing you wish you knew when you were in school?
That everything that I'm doing today, whether it's academics or it's co-curricular or any little thing that I do, is going to stand in good stead when I grow up.
Well, it's a good thing that we know that now. Ma'am, what is your favorite quote?
मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती हैं जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पंखों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है.
That is a wonderful quote, ma'am. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Ma'am, thank you so much for sharing your visions, ideas, and journey with us here today. At MRIS Mohali, where heart, innovation, excellence, empathy, and now your leadership come together, we're excited for the future. To all our viewers, keep your eyes peeled for more such inspiring conversations on Beyond the Bubble. This is Harsimrat signing off for Media Shala Club. See you next time.
Thank you, Harsimrat.